Assalamu alaikum rahmatullah. It's me, Junaid here, and brother Rashid. Assalamu
Assalamu
alaikum.
alaikum.
Yeah, the idea behind these small videos, hopefully, inshallah, is to try and keep our brothers and sisters updated with our activities. So, alhamdulillah, we'll start with brother Rashid. Past few days, you've been busy.
Yeah.
Alhamdulillah, you went to Snowdon.
I want to update on your glasses first, bro.
You want to update on my glasses?
Yeah. How come you're wearing glasses these days, man? That's an update.
The update on that is, subhanAllah, my sight's deteriorating due to the fact of my age, unfortunately. I went to have a meal a while ago, and when I brought up the fork to my level of my mouth, it was out of focus, and then I realised something's not quite right with my sight.
The rice looked like mashed potato.
It was just wrong. So, Qadarullah, this is how it is. So I've now got myself some glasses for reading.
Join the club.
Yeah, part of the club now.
Yeah.
So,
okay, alhamdulillah. Thank you for letting us be able to update the ISRA donors and supporters. I think it's important that we give feedback. We should do it more regularly, actually.
We'll try to, inshallah.
Yeah.
We'll try to. I'm not one for being in front of the camera, but we have to. So.
Yeah. So, alhamdulillah, I recently did a Snowdon trek on Saturday night. Early hours of the morning, we got to Snowdon. There was a group of 8 of us, and we completed the mission, alhamdulillah, and we raised around £2,000. I've been Snowdon a few times now, always in the daylight. This one we thought, let's do it by night, because to be honest, I've seen people do it by night, and I thought, yeah, that's interesting to see we know the views. If you've been on a mountain trek, you know that the views are spectacular. It's almost like from the aeroplane type of view. Obviously, depending how high the trek is. Snowdon's about 1,000 meters.
Right.
Yeah. So, but what was interesting was to see it from the night and also witness the sunrise at the peak.
Beautiful.
Did Fajr prayers there, yeah. Alhamdulillah, we had our Pakistani flag because it was all for Pakistan.
Okay.
Because another update about the Pakistan flood emergency appeal is that as soon as it happened, we mobilized and sent out our trustee, Riaz Mohammed. He's working out there with our colleagues out there distributing emergency aid, shelter, food, water, medical hygiene kits and mosquito nets and things like that.
Alhamdulillah.
So yeah, that is ongoing now, and that's going to be a long-term crisis. So my role in ISRA as events and fundraising is to support in any way we can to try and raise awareness and raise funds for these life-saving causes. For an example, a mosquito net is like £5. We raised 2,000. So quick maths: how many mosquito nets? Alhamdulillah, potentially we're saving people's lives from. Because unfortunately, after floods, the pattern is many people die in the flood. Over 1,500 have died. But unfortunately, more will die from the waterborne diseases such as malaria, dengue fever, and waterborne illnesses, diarrhea, especially for the elderly and the children. So with our hygiene kit, which includes a mosquito net, it's life-saving aid. It sounds like simple, and it is that simple, about supplying somebody with a net so that this tiny little creature doesn't kill you.
Yeah, it's mad. SubhanAllah.
I've had malaria, and it ain't no joke, bro. It's not no. Alhamdulillah.
So yeah, SubhanAllah, that was the fact that he was able to do that and people was accompanying you as well.
Yeah.
It was a beautiful experience, as well as the fact that you're able to help others as well as a result of it.
Yeah, it's a way of keeping motivation, because we all get bombarded we've all got our own lives, difficulties. Life's full of challenges, full of ups and downs. Some get tested more than others, natural disasters, and all these things. So we tend to, as human beings, like turn away after a certain amount of sad news. So these type of events are there to raise awareness, but also like motivate people to do something. But it's no good dwelling on the disaster itself. You've got to say, well, remain positive, and these are ways of springing into action and feeling like you've achieving something. But also for me, and I try to tell the people who come with me, is that it's actually a challenge, and the fact that it's a challenge is showing you that you're trying to empathize and sympathize with those people who are actually living the disaster. You're putting yourself in that type of environment where it's a struggle to get up the mountain. It's step after step. You're tired, you're aching, you know, you're hungry, you're thirsty. You want to give up, but you don't, because you're doing it for that higher purpose. So that's the element of challenge. And while you're on the mountain, or even if it's a marathon and things like that, you see people running for all types of causes, and they're all difficulties in life, whether it's cancer or floods or famine or aid or cancer. It's a way of just keep human beings coming together for that common cause and keeping motivated.
Sponsor that protects us from the trial that our brothers and sisters are going through, especially in Pakistan at this current moment in time. So what is your plans going forward? I mean, you've done the Snowdon for Pakistan floods.
Yeah.
Is there any other activities you're planning this year?
This year, with winter coming soon, my next focus, big event, would be a deployment to Lebanon.
Okay.
So although Pakistan is in the main focus at the moment, we can't, as a charity, we have to kind of like support those who we've been supporting. Yeah, but it's all down to funds and support. Yeah, if something dwindles or the donations die down for a particular cause, unfortunately, there's not a lot we can do. But I hope and I pray that I can inspire people who are watching to get involved and support us, especially for Lebanon in the winter. So my aim is to take around 10 people, for them to raise around £3,000 each.
Okay.
And pay for their own flight.
Okay.
And then come with us to Lebanon and distribute aid, much needed aid there in the winter. Our focus for Lebanon has really been on the winter season. So I want to start preparing for that, you know, providing shelter,
right,
food, fuel, heating fuel, blankets and mattresses.
It's like the Ummah's in a state right now. I mean, from Pakistan, from Africa to now, you know, around the borders of Syria, the refugees are still there.
Yeah.
You know, it's crazy. It doesn't seem to be getting better.
I think that's the nature of the world. You know, like I think every generation says what you've just said. You know, it's just the nature of the world that we created into this fitna. This dunya is full of tests, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is waiting for us to see who will assist, who will share, you know, who will give their skills, give their power, give their quwwat or their ability, whether it's a voice, whether it's a financial donation, whether it's time, who's there to share and help.
So their trial is that they're going through what they're going through, and our trial here is whether or not we'll respond and assist in whatever way possible.
Yeah,
you know?
It happens, Junaid. Floods, for example, the floods happens here. We've seen it on the news here. You know, as near as Worcester or Bewdley, it floods every year. But we live in such a society that we've got those resources where things will kick into action. Governments will kick into action, councils and people, communities, and they'll help one another. They'll build the barriers to stop the floods. Yeah, places like Pakistan, Bangladesh, you know, war-torn places like Lebanon, Syrian refugees. It just doesn't happen. There's no safety net. We here have a safety net, and disasters happen, but we soon recover and get on our feet. That's what makes it one of the best countries in the world. But other places don't have that. That's where we come in, and all the other aid agencies. And
If someone's out there watching this, and how would they be able to help?
obviously, everybody, Muslim, non-Muslim, the power of prayers. Say your prayers. And when we were on the mountain, we made prayers for Pakistan. And then action. Doing something. You could do your own event. You could contact us and say, hey, I want to do an event, and I need a couple of T-shirts, or I need a banner. We'll support in that way. But go ahead and do an event.
And that could be in aid of any of the areas that we work in.
Any of the areas, but
Palestine,
Yemen,
Lebanon, Pakistan.
Yeah. But we are kind of like urging people to support the crisis in Pakistan at the moment. Yeah. So any event, whether it's cake bake or face paint, or run a 5K, get your family and friends to sponsor your fitness journey, for instance. Even if you're not at a level of fitness, but you say, okay, I'm going to decide today to get fit and go on that journey. Even if you're starting from zero, but there's things like Couch to 5K.
Right.
You download an app and you start training, and you put that around your WhatsApp network or your family, and that gives you more of a motivation, because I'm not only doing it for myself, I'm also going to raise some funds for a good cause.
Right, so they would go on to, like, say, Just Giving, create their own page, connect it to the organisation ISRA-UK, and they will set in motion their plan.
Some people do birthday dedications instead of taking presents. They spread through their network and say, here's a link. What I want for my birthday this year is that you donate to this cause. Cool. There's many ways
to do it. It's really easy, really. It's just having that motivation,
And just being reminded that it's easy to do.
SubhanAllah. So other than that, what else have you got planned? I mean, you said that you got a few events coming up other than the Lebanon. You're doing a car wash on Ladypool Road, aren't you? Yeah,
Ladypool car wash. Thanks to them brothers always supporting us. Has told me not this Saturday, which is the 24th, the Saturday after, which, quick maths is what, the 24th at 7, 29th of September, Saturday, Ladypool car wash. So I need some volunteers for that.
Okay. So you're coming out, they'll come down, help wash the cars, do some...
I think in terms of washing the cars, he's got the full crew there. But it's just like,
support, collecting money, etc.
Yeah. Okay. People will want to donate from the cars, collecting that.
Okay.
And, helping count the money afterwards, because we get a lot of loose change and stuff like that.
So. Cool. Yeah.
Bring Grit Coaching, I recently signed up with them. Shout out to Coach Junaid. He's getting me into shape, and inshallah, watch this space, because we'll be doing some events with them. And if you're interested in fitness and you want to jump on that, then you're welcome as well to do that.
Yeah, and I can also follow you online. You regularly update your vlog in terms of what you're doing, don't you? Yeah,
Facebook, Rashid Campbell, Instagram, Rashid Travels, and just watch an old man, trying to stay young, and basically I've always wanted, if Allah gives us life, why not be fit and healthy?
SubhanAllah, I'd rather be a 100-year-old guy moving about, mobile, than,
That's what it's about, mobility, stretching, moving. But I just want to end with this. I've done Snowdon a few times, and for a few days after Snowdon, your legs, thighs, your calves. But this time, because I've been doing training with Bring Grit Coaching, I never had any issues the next day. So I've done about 5 weeks so far.
I've seen personally the improvement, and it's quite inspirational for me. I mean, I go to the gym as much time as I possibly can, but mainly it's for my state of mind and for my well-being. If I transform as a result of that, alhamdulillah, that's a byproduct. But you know, I'm a man that loves my food. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I know that once you do, well, you definitely have seen improvements.
Yeah, yeah.
And the fact that, you know, I've seen how you structure your eating plan as well, which is,
Yeah.
again, you know, it's educational for me.
Yeah,
You know,
let's watch this space. I
alhamdulillah,
might
Rashid.
crash and burn.
Allah about be positive.
But this what
whatever.
happens, isn't it? I might crash
Alhamdulillah.
and burn, but yeah, that's another opportunity. So just to recap, get involved, follow the journey, and give us some feedback as well on our little vlogs. And inshallah, we'll try and do more.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.